Speaks right here on The Buzz. All right. We see we have a full panel here tonight. Okay. We've got a little technical thing going on, so hang in there with me for a second, okay? All right, let's do it. This bell was made for ringing tonight. You say that you're tired again. It's about time we had a talk, my friend. 'Cause the girl can't live on bread alone. No, no. Now, do you know how long it's been since the rooster played with the hen? Hey, everybody. I know it's been much too long. I see Brother Hicks, Robert Hicks. Hey, brother. Jessica. Jean Burton. LaToya should be joining us shortly. Oh, this bell was made for ringing. Denise LaSalle. Hey, welcome everyone. Hey, this is the Buzz Studio W, the Buzz, your global radio network. We circle the globe 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with the finest in broadcasting found anywhere around the world. Now, tonight is Groove Swing Speaks. This is our 5th episode of Groove Swing Speaks. This is where we connect around the globe. The grooves and the swings, we get together and we're talking to brothers and sisters around the country. We talk about our expertise, projects that we're involved with, the community service, and so forth and so on. I'm so proud to do this. And welcome to the set. We have our special guest tonight. That's Jessica Jean Burton, RDH, RDHP, the RHDMP. Hey, she has. Oh wow, the credentials are huge, and I'm gonna let her tell us a little bit more about herself later in the broadcast. But hey, there's my co-host LaToya Yvette. Hey, darling, how are you?
Fine, and how are you? Hola, sisters, and good evening, my brother.
Oh, we are terrific. We are terrific. Hey, and we've got Brother Robert Hicks. He's here. He's faithful. He's loyal, and we really appreciate his input to this broadcast. Oh, Mark Daniels. Oh,
Yes,
that's my
yes, sir.
my my brother out of Houston, Texas. Okay, via California. I don't know which. I don't know where he's living these days. California, Houston. But I know he's in Houston right now. Brother Mark, how are you, my friend?
I'm good this evening. How are you?
Man, meet the panel. We got Tiffany Hilliard. Oh, a brilliant, brilliant at her craft as well. So we're gonna go around the table tonight. Our chat is and talk is going to be um, the cause and effects of mental illness. The subject is mental health. And I want to get into that because Groove Swing Speaks, we talk about what each organization is doing around the country, and we're doing some excellent things from both organizations, and we're giving advice, and we have people from all walks of life doing certain things. Brother Robert, I'm going to let him tell you about himself. Mark, you're doing some magnificent things. LaToya, we've had the pleasure of doing this. This is our fifth broadcast, and we're going to get into that a little bit. We talked about Tiffany, and we're going to also talk about our sister Jessica Jean. Oh, by the way, Jessica, I got a call from Michelle. She said she's trying to get in, and we were like a minute before the show started, and I couldn't take the real time. I told her click on the link. She says she's done it a couple of times. So I don't know whether you can text her some information or help out that way. But anyway, uh, Stephanie, and then we're gonna come back all the way around circle. Then we're gonna come to Sister Jessica because this is a very important topic. Tiffany, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. Hola, my sisters, and greetings, my brothers. My name is Tiffany Hilliard. I hail from Raleigh grad. I went over fall 2011, and I am a screenwriter. I'm currently working on a few different projects as we speak, and that's what I do. That's me.
Okay, yeah, she did. She just gave you the Reader's Digest. No, not even that. She just gave you a snippet of what she does. And
Cliff Notes.
off air, I've had the pleasure of speaking to Tiffany. What a fascinating woman, fascinating in what she does and her vision. So we're going to talk about a little bit more of that later. Let's go to Brother Mark. Mark,
Yes, sir.
introduce yourself to the panel. You've been on before, but you are a business owner,
Yeah.
okay? And with this program, we want to inspire, we want to educate, and also motivate people to, you know, reach out, follow your dreams. But also you need a path. You need information. So that's what this program is all about because we have so many different professionals, and who knows? I know that somebody will be motivated behind this. So, Mark, as a business owner, as a guru, let's tell us about your vision and how you became a business owner, and maybe you can inspire someone to start their own business.
Well, first of all, my name is Mark Daniels. I'm currently in Houston, Texas. I originally attended Virginia Union University, same school as William, our alma mater. Went into the military, did my time in the military, got out in California, decided I wanted to stay. Once I was out there, I worked for a Chrysler Corporation for a period of time until my plant closed. And at that point, I felt like, the last thing I ever wanted do is depend on someone else to make sure that I'm able to make a living for myself. I started looking at different avenues that I could go into, and what would be, I'll be honest, the cheapest financially that I could start off with, where I wasn't putting everything I had in, my life savings into it. I started doing some googling, looked into a janitorial business, and I start, looking at it, seeing, okay, would it make sense financially, things of that nature. And what I did is I actually went to the Small Business Development Center in Riverside, California, and it cost me nothing. They sat me down, um, told me gave me all the tools I needed. I mean, step by step by step. I took those steps, and I figured, you know what, I don't want to. I didn't want to start off going to independent businesses, trying to get business. I started off with the state of California. And once I learned how to start bidding, the very first contract I ever bid on, I actually got. At that point, I started off where it was just myself, um, and I grew it to a point where I had 16 employees. All my accounts were with the state, and I wanted to go with the state and with the government because I wanted my money to be guaranteed. Um, I didn't want to be in a position where when it came time to pay people, uh, sometimes we get a bad reputation, and that's not what I want. I wanted my money guaranteed to me, and I've kept it that way. I mean, I've picked up small, contracts along the way with different little businesses, but primarily, I've went with the state, and the people that I've helped with employment are people that may not have gotten second chances. In some cases, I had, and in some cases, like I said, I started it myself. I went with people I knew, then I reached out, started putting different ads out. And as I met people and got to know them, started employing them, and I've had success with it. During the COVID period, when everything was shut down, I was booming. Um, had made more money than I ever thought I would make doing that during that period of time. And with my regular job, I'm a project engineer, and my company had asked me would I be willing to come to Houston to because they were opening a new facility and basically help uh, get that facility up and running. And it's been going on 3 years and it's still not totally up and running. But I still had to maintain my business. And the one thing I'll tell anybody is that when you have your business, nobody's going to take care of it like you will. So that became a little bit of a challenge because I was going back and forth a lot. But I was determined to make my business go. I put the right things in place. Um, as far as with my contacts, I developed a great rapport with the facilities I got with the field office managers. If there's any issues, I'm able to get it addressed. And to start this business off, I did it with less than $500. Um, that included getting equipment, everything else. I mean, I went through Google, did a lot of different things. Fortunately for me, there was a cleaning supply company in the city of Moreno Valley where I developed a great rapport with them to where I could basically get supplies, pay it later, however I had to do it, and made it work. Also, I was able to get funding from various avenues where if I needed it, I can immediately make it work. Um, and so that's pretty much where I've been. And like I said, it's something that I plan on carrying on until once my goal is to be done actually working. And I was thinking about that today. I'm still pretty young, but my goal is to probably be done with corporate America in maybe another 2 years. And
Wow.
I think I can be successful and carry on from there.
My hat's off to you, brother, because like you said, you had you and I, we've talked about this before. As a matter of fact, you told the same story, almost verbatim. And what I applaud you for is that you said, look, I just lost a job, a good paying job, and now I'm never going to depend on anybody else to predict my outcome or govern on how my lifestyle is going to be or how much I can be able to provide for my family. So my head is definitely off to you, because I hope someone else is out there listening.
Mhm.
Someone else is out there listening. You said a couple of things that I want to point out. You thought about, what can I do, and what is the most cost effective way to do it? And you did your research and found out something that you knew that you could do, or have an idea that you could do, and you pursued that. Then you found other avenues for funding something else that picked up on. You got government contracts. You said, okay, I know these people going to pay me. Okay, they're not going bankrupt anytime soon or lay anybody off.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you one thing I'll tell anybody though. At least we both lived in California. I still have a residence there. Is that, for me, I can't speak for others, but when I submitted my invoice, now I took it in there personally. I wasn't doing that all. It was lost in the mail. No, no, no. This was on your. I gave it to you.
Right,
And even when I do my invoicing now, I get it to them personally, individually. I don't believe in that mail system because I look at it like this. The moment I put that invoice on your desk, you got a certain period of time I need my money. I mean, it's cut and dry. The most important thing to me, yes, I want to make money out of it, but I also got to take care of the people that's doing the work,
right,
because they have lives and they have, families and things to take care of. So it's, like I tell anybody, starting up, me personally, for the first couple of months, I did the work myself because I knew I wasn't going to be able to pay anybody immediately. So, first few months I did it myself.
absolutely. And real quick, and then we're gonna go to LaToya. LaToya, you have to speak up, and then uh, Robert Hicks and Jessica, hang in there, because you are the showstopper here. Okay, so or show starter, whichever way you want to put it. Okay, so we want to get to you, but I want you to get to meet some of your brothers and your sisters from different parts of the country, because Robert is in Maryland. Okay, uh, Tiffany is in North Carolina, I believe. Tiffany, you are in North Carolina, correct? Is, Tiffany?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. And LaToya is in North Carolina. Mark is in Houston, Texas, and he bounces back and forth from Houston to Southern California, and that's why I met him, Robert. As a matter of fact, I had the pleasure of pledging this brother.
Yes, sir.
I sure did. And not only are we groove brothers, but we've been friends ever since. He's also part of our sports network. We have a show that comes on Saturday mornings called the Studio W Sports Page. And Mark, he's been dubbed the boxing guru. Because you can ask him anything about boxing. I guarantee you right now, he'll tell you about it. But not only that, he is very astute in bas- pick a sport. He can tell you about it. Okay, without notes in front of his hand, in front of him, just like the rest of the panel, which is so unique. These cats, they don't have notes in front of them. I mean, they're going from their head and just telling you, and it's all factual stuff. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk to Brother Robert Hicks. Tell us a little bit about you, brother, because your work is fascinating as well.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone out there in radio land or video land or wherever you're listening to right now. My name is Felman Robert Hicks. I went over in spring 1996 at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I currently serve as president of the Northern Virginia Graduate Chapter, which covers all the way from Fairfax all the way down to Springfield. I'm currently also the membership director for Group 5 Group, the international membership director. And most recently, in addition to some of the work I was doing with the patent office, we had just introduced and signed up for a new nonprofit here in the state of Maryland. So we just filed a couple of days ago. So we're very happy of getting this off the ground. But really, it's going to be focusing more to the aspect of mental health, but this idea of dealing with the subject of math,
Absolutely.
because there are a lot of people. Interestingly enough, there are a lot of people who do suffer from anxiety when it comes down to math concepts, math problems, math test taking. And we are here to be able to provide a way for people to be able to calm and be relaxed in doing this work by using various different techniques that we will be promoting over time. It actually, for me, it came out from just a love of tutoring math. I've been a tutor of math professionally, I believe, for over 30 years. Started out as a junior in high school. We just followed from there. But basically, the idea is we wanted to be able to expand out a little bit further to be able to reach various different students in all areas, whether it is elementary school or to the college level. So you'll be hearing from us relatively soon. But I probably would say the same way as Fellow Mark has mentioned. We wanted to do something different and eventually not have to chase around for a paycheck. There comes a point where you want to do your own thing, but
Hmm.
also at the same time, you want to be realized that you have the ability and the wherewithal, the knowledge, the capabilities to be able to branch out on your own. And as with any business, you're taking a risk on yourself because you're the
Wow.
best, saying you're the sure bet.
Absolutely, absolutely. And brother Craig Hunter, he's here. Uh, let's see. Sister Latoya, she dropped off. I'm sure she'll be right back. There she is, right there, on cue. She just came back on cue. There she is. Uh, Before we go to brother Craig, Latoya, tell the audience about you and what you do. Latoya.
I don't think she has audio.
Okay, I can't. Her mic is muted, and I can't unmute it. Unmute your mic, Latoya. There you are, Latoya. She's having a little technical problem here. Okay,
She might have to exit and come back on.
okay. Hey, Latoya, yes, Latoya, log out and come back on, and let's see if that works because we can't hear you at all. All right. Okay, brother Craig,
The game changer.
were you speaking to your mic, Mr. Game Changer? Okay.
Good evening, everybody.
All right, we can hear you loud and clear, brother. Go
Okay.
on.
Just wanted to say this is a nice day in Richmond, Virginia today. Good weather. And as always, when you're on this side, you've been blessed to see another day. We've been talking about mental health. Have we talked about the subject of mental health yet? I
Oh
know
yeah,
that was one of our topics.
not yet, but
So
we're getting into that. I want you to introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little bit about you, what your take here, and what we are doing going forward with this Groove Swing Speaks radio station.
my name is Craig Hunter. I am the president of the Virginia Union University Virtual Alumni Chapter, where we virtual alumni chapters from members who actually attended a university and maybe be out in various areas of the United States. So they get together and form a chapter, and most of the activity of that chapter is around supporting the undergraduate chapter or reestablishing the undergraduate chapter at that university that they're attending. And I am the president of the Virginia Union University Virtual Alumni Chapter here in Richmond, Virginia. I have had uh, held several offices. Back then it was the national office, but now since we have chapters outside of the United States, it's the international office of the Groove 5 Groove Social Fellowship Incorporated. And this concept was started in California. Brother William Brown started this in California. He moved to Richmond. This program had ended, and we were having some conversations to reactivate this network, and we were thinking of some names. And I came up with the concept of Groove Swing Speech. However, when I went to try to get it a trademark on it,
What?
I understand
Oh
he
no!
had
Stop!
already
Stop!
contacted
Stop the
Robert
presses
Hicks.
right now!
He had
I can't
already
believe
contacted Robert Hicks
I
to get an inside
can't.
look
I, I, I
I can't. Wait a minute.
Oh my goodness,
I
here we
can't
go.
believe this.
That's
You
what
know,
it is.
I'm getting ready to cut your mic. I can't believe this.
That's what it is. So that's
Okay.
probably why he didn't
We'll
come.
talk offline about that.
You know, Robert, and my brother Clayton is here right now. Clayton,
Yes,
can you believe what the game changers just said?
I never could understand what he's saying.
Put your
He's been problematic for a long time. I don't know. I don't know if it has anything to do with where he come from, all his upbringing, or what it is. But forgive him.
Hey, Jessica, please forgive my brother. You know, and he's in swinging distance right now too. Okay, he's right here in studio, so you be careful, Craig. But
Greetings, sisters. Greetings, my brothers,
oh my
sisters.
God, yeah. Did you meet Tiffany before?
I did.
Yes, yes, yes. And we have another sister here. That's Jessica Burton, Jessica
Hello.
Jean Burton,
All right.
and she's in Jersey. And we've been introducing ourselves, but she is the featured guest here tonight. And we just want everybody to know what everybody does. You got Brother Mark Daniels on. You met Mark before. I'm sure you have. You met Mark? Mark, you have you met Mark? He's out
Uh,
of Houston, Texas.
which
No,
Mark?
I haven't.
Mark Daniels.
No, I've never met him.
You never met Mark, great brother as well. And I know you know Robert. So it's
Oh
a
yeah.
family affair,
What's up,
Jessica.
Robert?
And we want to last week, guys, we had several hundred. And this was just on one page, several hundred grooves and swings to tune in. And that was just on one page. And you know, we have two apps. We have the website, Google Play, Apple CarPlay, Alexa, and the websites, which is studiowbuzz.com, studiowbuzz.com, or internationally, studio.w. It's just as simple. Tell your friends about it. LaToya, she says she went out and she's coming back in. Uh, let's see. Oh, there she is. And she happens to do this right on cue every time. Hey, sister.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh boy, who did we lose that time? Uh, okay, we just lost somebody. Okay,
Was
but
it,
that's
was it Tiffany?
oh yeah, yeah. That she and she needs to reconnect. There is Tiffany right there too as well. Okay. Before we get to my brother Clayton, I want Latoya, tell us about you, some things that you do, because you have a very interesting field as well. How did you get into it? And then we're going to, like I said, Sister Jessica is on board here after we introduce Clayton. So anyway, Latoya, tell us about who is Latoya Levette.
Oh my. So who is LaToya Yvette? I am a mom. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I work in the medical field. I work with the a ophthalmologist. So we do eye exams. I've been on the side where they do eye surgeries. Um, I have volunteer. Um, I love to now. Okay, so I know we're live, but don't tell nobody. Okay, y'all. So don't tell
No,
nobody.
we'll keep it to ourselves. All right.
Okay, it's just us and we're family.
That's right.
I love to sing. I love to do
Wow.
spoken word. Oh my gosh, like
Mm.
this could go on and on. I'm a
Okay.
grandmother. I am a
You're a
grand.
grandmother.
I am. I have two grandbabies.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
I
That
do.
is unbelievable.
I do.
I'm not going to ask any questions. Okay.
Okay,
We're going to
don't
move
do it.
from there.
Don't
We're going
do
to
it.
definitely gonna move from there.
Don't do
Wow. Amazing. And you also my co-host.
I am. I am your co-host.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you how this story, game changer. Don't say a word. I will cut your mic in a second. Okay. Okay. I have control.
Checks come out on Tuesdays.
Okay.
Okay. See, he thinks I'm playing. Okay. No. Okay. I just muted you. So. Okay. Now let's tell the world the real story. Uh, Mark, were you ever Did you ever do the Groove Talk? I mean, Groove Talk Radio when we were in California? Were you ever on that
Yeah,
program?
I did it. I think once or twice.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
I started Groove Talk Radio, and I want to say probably around 2017 when I started it. I believe it was 2017. So we'll go with that. And oh wow, hallelujah! We were in our 10th year right now of doing Studio W, the Buzz, Studio W, the Buzz, self-owned,
Wow.
black owned, black operated,
Wow.
self-funded, and 10 years. And we'll get into that a little bit later. The story
Good
is
job.
deep, Mark, because when I first moved to California, I only had $500 too. $500 in my pocket, and no job, no place to stay, no car. How do you? Who does that? Somebody that said, "Hey, look, I'm I have to do this for myself." And like you, Mark, I can't depend on anyone else but me. Okay, and thank God we've made it this far, and I have no reason to believe that we won't continue. But anyway, um, the first organization or people to reach out to me, okay, when I came to Virginia, and I said, okay, I want to do something different, and I talked to Rock, and we were talking because the Raleigh grad were the first people to reach out and says and congratulate me because I sent out an article that this station was written up in, and I had my groove gear on. Thank God I did. So
Mhm.
Raleigh grad congratulated me, and I said, you know what? Let me contact these sisters, and I did. And after speaking to Rock, thank you so much, Rock. Rock, we'll talk about her a lot more because she's behind the scenes. You have to have people behind the scenes to put down that work that sometimes you may not have time to do. So, but anyways, talk to Rock. And after speaking to Rock for about 10, 15 minutes, I said, Rock, I did a show back in California called Groove Talk Radio. And I said, I want to bring it back. I said, but this time I want to uh, make it equal along with the swings. I want to bring our sisters on board and give them an equal platform that we have. And so then she put me in contact with LaToya and I had an idea. I said, I wrote down a whole bunch of titles. What do we call it? And I had a whole bunch of things. And I called LaToya. I said, LaToya, I'm coming with all these ideas. And I want to do something called Groove Swing Speaks. I said, I have some others. She said, I like that. Then I called this knucklehead on my left over here, Craig. And I said, Craig, we're going to start this program, a takeoff on Groove Talk Radio, and we'll call it Groove Swing Speaks. And he said, oh, yeah, I like that. So, Craig, don't even start. Don't even start. I mean, we're not talking to you right now because
You got my mic
you
muted
introduce
anyway.
yourself, right, Clayton?
No, I have
You
not.
done. Okay. Please introduce yourself, and
Can
then
you
we have to
unmute
go
the
to our
mic?
special guest. Huh?
Okay. What's that, Craig?
I was asking him, can you unmute my mic?
Your mic is already unmuted. Be
Well,
quiet, Craig.
well, greetings, brothers. Greetings, sisters. Thank you for
Oh,
this
okay.
opportunity.
Okay.
So, these some rude people we're dealing with today, but these are our brothers and our sisters. We got to keep them in prayer, I tell you, please. But
Say
my
pray.
name is Fellowman Clayton Brown Clayton. Excuse me. But they call me the Crow, the Blackbird. That's my GKA name. And I have been a groove since 1977. And I'm very happy and thankful for the path that I've taken because being a groove that long, you see a lot of people come and go. And I find myself in the middle of those type of things where brothers and sisters tend to go their merry way, but now they're trying to find out where is groove going today. And I think we're going into a great path. We're going in a great direction, as Feldman Robert Hicks can tell you. He's thoroughly involved in it. We can always call on Rob if we needed something, just like the other presidents and vice. So I think we're going in a great direction. I am currently the president of the Virginia State University Virtual Alumni Chapter out of Petersburg, Trojan chapter. And so I've been collaborating with the sisters quite often on some of the projects. We're helping each other try to grow, recruit, do those little things that we need to do in order to get, that movement. Because Virginia State, Union, Norfolk, Hampton, even Virginia Tech used to be some thriving black and white, big time. And unfortunately, at this point in time, it's lacking those things. But I am, I just feel like it's necessary for me to come alongside the sisters. We got some projects going on in April. The Wellness Day down at Virginia State University. We're gathering some of the items, personal hygiene items for men and women, the young ladies, and also some goodie bags and donating some perishable items that they can use because they do have a pantry down there. And, just giving back to our culture. And I'm working with Sister Geraldine Atkins on that program.
Wow.
Okay. So we have been working side by side, the doorways, which is we fed the people that was coming to MCV Hospital. Their families got a place to stay. So Sister Geraldine Atkins and Sister
Claudia.
Claudia,
Yes.
and the sisters,
That's here,
and
Richmond.
we fixed pots of chili along with Nick and Sonny and Everett, and giving them sandwiches, feeding them. We go to the Hope Center. We try to do that on a quarterly basis, where that's a food pantry as well, feeding as many as 80 to 100 families on a Tuesday or a Thursday. We have the Adopt the Street cleanup program down in Petersburg, where we have our signs from South Street, the bottom of the hill, out to Lee Street. We have a mile long stretch that we are responsible for cleaning up. So, and we do have our names on the signs going both ways. Groove 5 Groove Social Fellowship Incorporated.
Oh,
We
well.
just came from a community service event, myself and Craig, where we were at, is it First Union Baptist?
No, it's Great Hope.
Okay, we're going to many churches, so I can't get the names right. We're just coming from one of those uh, distributing food. So I like the direction that our brothers and sisters are going because we're helping our community. Those are our obligations. So keep up the good work from the top to the bottom. God bless y'all.
Wow, wow, wow. And now, without further ado, we're going to talk about our sister of the hour, our featured guest on here. And as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Jessica, you know this gentleman on my right, don't you? Did
Yes, back in the day.
you? Oh boy! Hey,
Who,
hey,
who,
speak
who, am, I,
again.
who am I
You're.
speaking with?
This is Sister Jessica Jean Burton. She's in
Yeah,
Jersey, and
to
we've get some
Virginia
feedback.
and Lake University.
Okay, Sister Jessica, what I'm going to ask you to do, we're getting some terrible feedback there. We didn't get that this afternoon. Um, turn, turn off your speaker. Keep your microphone on. Turn off your speaker on your computer. Let's see if that works. Okay.
Oh, that's wrong.
Okay. No, that's not working. So I tell you what. Let's do this. Log out and please, please, please come back in as soon as possible. All right. Okay. Yeah, she was getting some. I don't know what that calls. We did a test earlier today, and it was absolutely perfect. And hey, guys, this is live radio,
I was
and
about
things happen. Things
to
happen, so
say,
it doesn't matter. So we're going to talk about the cause and effect of mental health. What are some of the causes? And I'm going to go around the panel, and I don't know how many of you guys. Oh, there she is. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's
Yes,
much better.
Okay.
absolutely.
Yes.
Sister Jessica,
Yes.
the topic, and I have to give Brother Robert the credit for this because Robert sent uh, me a list of topics that we could cover. As a matter of fact, he gave me enough that we could cover probably until the end of the year. That's how detailed he is. And we welcome any idea that any of our panelists have as far as what subjects we should cover next, and even our audience out there. What would you like to hear? What is something that is really motivating you, something that's troubling you, something that you having a problem with, or whatever it is? Let us know what it is. Let's talk about it because there are resources out here, just like Brother Mark was talking about, just like uh, Brother Robert was talking about, and so forth and so on. So let's talk about the causes and effects of mental health. Sister Jessica, okay,
Yeah.
I want you to talk to us a little bit because you and I talked about this off air. We talked about this a little bit off air, and your field that you're uh, in I won't call it, I want to say a complicated way, is related to your mental health.
Hmm.
Okay. And I want to talk about the causes and effects of mental illness, rather. So, introduce yourself to the panel, and then we would like to know. And you can take it anywhere you want. I don't have a resume in front of you, but I do know that you have a whole bunch of titles there. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about those various titles that you have. What do they mean? And then let's get into this whole thing about how your field is connected to the situation. I mean, to related to mental illness and mental health.
All right. Well, hola, sisters. Hello, brothers. Again, my name is Jessica Jean Burton. RDH stands for Registered Dental Hygienist. PHDHP stands for Public Health Dental Hygiene Practitioner. And MPA is I have my master's in public administration. Um, I am swing known as CEO, which stands for Continuously Evolving Over Time. I entered into swing land on March 19th, spring 11. So today is my swingversary. And
Oh,
I crossed over at
happy
Lincoln
swing
University.
anniversary. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
And I came into Swingland at Lincoln University to the Get Out of Bibisha Taboo chapter. And I currently serve as a parliamentarian of that Rafiki Tri County graduate chapter. Um, and like Lone spoke before, I am the founder of Nurturing Smiles. We are a nonprofit organization based out in Pennsylvania. And we focus on women and children. We the main focus is pregnant women, women in childbearing ages, and we focus on educating them about the importance of oral health during pregnancy, how it affects themselves, how it affects their fetus and the baby to come. And we really focus on educating women in underserved areas.
Okay.
And offline, as we spoke before, how it deals with mental illness and mental health. A lot of the things that happen, especially during postpartum and pregnancy, as mothers, as women, we tend to take care of our family first before we take care of ourselves. Um, and so during those times, we're not really taking care of our oral health, and oral health is hugely effective because it correlates with our overall health. So with my organization, we are focusing, we go into residential shelters, and we educate those women, pregnant women who are there, and we provide them with free oral cancer screenings. We also provide them with home cooked meals. We educate them, and we try to direct them as much as possible with as much preventative care that we can give. We have many initiatives that we do in the city as well. So we have book bag drives throughout the year. We also have a dental plate initiative that focuses on nutrition with children. Um, and then we have our clinic that is based out in South Philly on Tasker Street. We partner with Miriam Medical Clinic and said they also focus on the overall health. So with them, we focus on dental, medical, and mental health there as well.
Oh wow.
Great. So would you say them, post COVID, it seems that mental health has been in the forefront a lot more than it was pre COVID. So
Yes,
you like to
definitely.
speak a bit about that? I mean, has the being in the house and dealing with the COVID uh, epidemic, has that put a more of an emphasis on mental health, in your opinion?
Definitely. COVID really opened up that door for it to be spoken on. Especially as a hygienist, my chair technically becomes a therapist. I become a therapist. People come and sit in the chair, they get comfortable, and then they kind of start talking about what's going on. And now that we are post COVID a few years, so many patients haven't been to a dental office since before COVID. So when they come in, they're speaking on everything that they have gone through these past few years that caused them to put their dental health at, last. Dealing with loss of jobs, dealing with family and finances, and just trying to keep food on the table during COVID, and then just dealing with their mental health of the big old changes that happened, being home, not losing family, the depression that happened during that time, and they take their dental health and it was last on the list, and now they're like, we're just trying to get back, and get everything together. A lot of patients are now just coming in because they have pain. So it wasn't for the pain, they wouldn't be coming in to see us at all. So definitely COVID opened up that door for it to be spoke on, for it to be relatable. Um, and COVID also opened the door for us as professionals to talk about mental health, how it affects us, not just our patients, but taking on that challenge as a dental hygienist. We were first on the list of being first on the list of actually being the highest to contract the virus. So the offices were closed for a really long time. And it's because of the airborne bacteria. We are in people's mouths. As soon as we use our instruments or any kind of airborne activity, it's in the air for a certain amount of time, and we're in that room with that patient. So we were at high risk. Oh, not just, people didn't think about that, but, everybody was thinking about what's happening in the hospitals and the nurses and doctors. But for us, we couldn't open up because we were at risk. So the mental health on just us as professionals, knowing that our job is important, knowing that we need to be there. But it was a lot of the dental field right now. We are lacking a lot of dental hygienists due to the fact that so many people didn't come back to the field. A lot of people retired early. Schools didn't graduate a lot of students. A lot of people are changing their mind about the career, and it's saddened because especially when, the work that we do with my team, the most important part is we want children to see people who look like them out here and working hard and providing them different opportunities. And the hardest part is there are not a lot of African American people, well, even women in the dental field. So that is also a lack. So it's like the pressure is on us. The pressure is on us a lot, to make sure that we're out here providing the care that's needed.
Great.
Mm.
So in the dental hygienist field, can you kind of like give it that pathway far as the education and the training, any sectors or certifications that one would need to become
Mhm.
a dental hygienist?
So for a dental hygienist, it's an associate degree. So you just could do your prerequisite courses and go to any school for 2 years to get that license. And then afterwards, you take a test, and every state has different regulations. Or you could be also an overachiever like me and also have your bachelor's degree. Um, and so that bachelor degree allows you to be able to teach. With my license, in different states is different, but in Pennsylvania, I am a public health practitioner. And so with that license, I can practice without a doctor present, and that is how I'm able to operate a mobile dental clinic.
Great, great. Have you been doing it for how long now?
I've been practicing for 8 years now, and I have had my own organization now for the past 2 years.
That is excellent. That is excellent.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What? How did you fall in love with the field? Like what? Like what encouraged you to go that direction? Like
Well,
what
my
of it?
my first introduction to dentistry, I was 12. So my parents are immigrants from Haiti. So when they came from Haiti, they didn't have a full-time job, so they didn't have benefits. So until they actually had a full-time job with benefits, to actually go see a dentist was my first appointment. So we went there, and I'm thinking I have amazing teeth. I brush every day. And so at my first appointment, I found out I had 12 cavities. Um, and that was a shocker to me. But my provider was amazing. My doctor was African American. She owned her practice. She did everything. She didn't have anyone working for her. She was a recent graduate. And she took her time to not just educate me, but also educate my parents. And she educated me on oral health in a way that just it blew my mind. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be just like her when I grow up. Um, I had three appointments following to get my cavities filled. But she made us feel like family. She didn't make me feel judged. I didn't feel insecure about my health. It was just about educating me and getting me back on the right path. And so that kind of just geared me to like, okay, I'm going into the dental field. And so went to Lincoln University, studied biology, graduated, and then I went to Harcum College for dental hygiene. My experience there was different. I was the only Black student in my program, so the pressure was definitely there on having to be the top of the class, needed to be the best. Um, but through my education there, we did a lot of community service, going into the field and just working with the communities and seeing a lot of patients who look like me who are scared of the dentist because they don't really see people that they trust. And that opened doors even more to be like, this is definitely where God has a plan for me. And that's when God planted that seed of wanting to have my own nonprofit to be able to work in these communities and bring our people into the dental field and have them understand the importance of it, but also seek out that education as well for themselves.
Great.
Wow, there's a lot to unravel there. Any other from? Let's go around the panel. LaToya, Robert, Tiffany, Mark, Clayton, Craig. We'll come back to you in a second. Okay. All right. We'll get to you, game changer. Okay. But LaToya, what questions do you have for Jessica?
Well, I just asked mine. I just love to know what um was the driving force behind the love,
Hmm.
for dentistry. I happen
Yeah,
to I happen to love the medical field. I have not experienced anything in dentistry, but I've done eyes, I've done home health, I've done all of that. But it's just I just wanted to know that, and that's beautiful. I love the story. I
thank
love the story.
you.
I love the fact that that you saw that in a woman, and then you say, I'm gonna do that for someone else, and now that's what you concentrate on. I love it, sis. That's wonderful.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's an
So I
amazing
asked my
field.
question. So if I think
Fascinating
of
story.
another one, I'll jump in. But that's what I wanted to know.
That's okay. We're gonna go to Tiffany, and then Robert and Mark next, and then Clayton, and then Craig.
Well, I gotta be last.
Because you've been trying to hog the entire broadcast. That's why. Don't make me cut your mic, Craig. Okay. All right. Tiffany, what questions do you have for Jessica?
Um, the one question comes to mind is, do you see yourself or other Black um, petitioners having or starting a program to draw in younger Black interests, what I'm saying, into the dental hygiene practice?
Yes, one of our initiatives that hasn't launched yet, but we have been keeping it in prayer and we're hoping everything works is our Smile Scholars Initiative. That initiative is to be able to go to HBCUs and provide dental care to the students there. So our first stomping grounds is Lincoln University, which is my home. And the goal is to be able to partner with them, bring the cleanings to the campus because a lot of these students, they're going to HBCUs in their first generations, or they're coming from underserved areas as well, and they haven't received dental treatment. A lot of students also at Lincoln, they offer insurances and they opt out of dental insurance at the school because of the extra cost. So we want to be able to go in and provide services to those students. So that way it's a segue of introducing dentistry to them and giving them that option of, hey, you can also do this as well. Especially with them seeing that we are alumni of Lincoln. Um, and that we're coming back and giving back to our community so that way we can open up those doors and be able to make this a national thing. So it's in process. This takes a lot, but it is definitely one of my dreams, one of my goals and initiatives that we want to be able to launch and be able to move on into not even just HBCUs, but other schools. We just recently had a Martin Luther King event Um, in Philly, and we had a lot of Drexel students who came. And these students, are letting us know that they don't have dental insurance, they haven't had dental appointments. And we were able to treat these students, and it opened up my eyes even more to the other schools that we can be able to segue into, and provide services to, but also introduce dentistry to the um, minority students there, because we saw a lot of minority students that day.
Excellent. Hey, Robert, I had uh, the opportunity to speak to Jessica off air for a few minutes. And I told her about the topic that we were going to pick for this week. And I told her the topic was mental health. And that was a topic that you sent me a list of. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about this, okay? And so I asked her also, how does what she does tie into mental illness? So, Robert, I want her to answer that. But before she answers that, I want you to ask the question that's on your mind.
Yes, thank you. I would like to ask, how long was the education for dentistry, and is it continuing education as well?
Yeah, so for dental hygiene, it is 2 years for you to get your degree and license. And then we also have to take for my license, for a public health license, I have to take an extra 25 continuing education course hours within every 2 years to renew my license.
Hmm. Interesting. Jessica, like we talked about this last week. LaToya came with the topic, and we talked about domestic violence.
Hmm.
Okay. And I want to find out if there's a link there somewhere where I don't know whether there are any statistics or anything like that, but is there a link somewhere that with poor dental health and dental hygiene, um, uh, is there a link between that and uh, domestic violence? Is there a link on mental illness there, which you already answered before with me off the air? But I want you to go a little bit deeper here and tell us, and then we're going to go to Mark and see what question Mark has.
And so when it comes to um, poor oral health, and when it comes to mental health, um, like I stated before, a lot of it is your smile is everything. People want to smile. People, that's what shows joy. That's what shows that connection and that
This,
communication. And when at the time when if your smile isn't up to par, isn't where you want it to be, it can cause a strain on yourself. It takes away from your beauty, your mindset, that you have for yourself. Especially when a lot of people are going through things, the number one thing they think of is, today I'm going to put on a nice outfit, I'm going to feel good. But if you feel good about your outfit, you don't feel good about your smile, that also can take a toll on your mental health,
Mhm.
and cause that depression. So a lot of women that I do see in the office, a lot of times they come in and they talk about how they haven't been taking care of themselves for so long, and they were a part of domestic violence relationships, and they were just taking care of their children, themselves, and the husband, but not taking care of themselves. And they come in and they don't even want to show me their teeth, even though I have to get in and take X-rays and help them. They don't even want to show me their teeth because of the insecurities around it. And so usually, and with those patients, you take your time with them, you talk to them, and then you make them feel like, them coming in that day was that best step for themselves. And we help them through that journey, and we let them know, like, whatever, how long it takes, we're here to help you through it. And that helps them, mentally, to get through the process, because dentistry is, it's a painful process. Not that many people love to see us, but what keeps us moving is that end result. Being able to see the smiles at the end, the women's stories, we get, we become friends with them because we see them for so many appointments. So the end all is really what's so gratifying, is that we help someone gain their smile, which helps them in their journey.
that is deeper than we. Who
Wow.
considers that? Who considers that? I mean, nobody really considers that your dental hygiene has something to do with your mental health. But if you really
I
think
can see
about it,
it.
like she said,
I can see
if
it.
you can't, yep, if you can't smile, you're really not enjoying life and the extent of it, and that can pour over into a problem at the home. Uh, Mark, hey brother, I want to hear your input. I want you to ask whatever you want to ask Jessica because I'm finding this fascinating. And
I mean, I was fascinated by the story. Number one, number two, she made said something really important as far as how you know dental hygiene does play a huge role on your confidence, on
wow,
what you think of yourself. A lot of times, I think people can be in positions where they have enough to take care of their families, but you go and say you need work done, it get into thousands of dollars, and a lot of the insurances that are out there now through companies work for is really not that great.
Mhm.
Um, I knew being in the public sector. I remember I needed to have work done. First thing the lady told me when I went in there was going to be $4,000.
whoa,
I said, "Well, I need this, so I guess you're gonna get it from me." So I mean, there ain't no there ain't no way around this. Um, but it was like when you start looking at options, and you'll see, and it's sad because I think a lot of times they trap people too. I mean, I remember in California they had this thing where they said they had grants for people to, there was grants for them to where they could get dental work done. And I remember I recommended a person to that, and they went to it and they said, "You know what? I got there." And what they basically do is almost make you think you're getting a grant, but they still getting that full price money for what they want to do. And a lot of people just walk out because they can't afford it. I feel that, like I said, the story was amazing. I just wonder why they can't come up with a plan. You see the commercials where they tell people, "Oh, you can get these dental implants. It'd be great." Blah blah. They don't tell you that stuff costs about $40,000. And again, I feel like it plays a tremendous role with a lot of people because a lot of people are ashamed. A lot of people they'll stay inside or they're ashamed to smile, whatever it could be, because of these deficiencies. And I feel that nobody should have to go around like that,
mm-hmm.
and nobody. I mean, I don't know. I feel like a world where we're in at this point when it comes to money buys everything, and I think it's sad because it shouldn't include your well being.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I just wonder, is there going to be any programs to where people can kind of the normal everyday person can get some of these amenities that they normally couldn't get?
That's right. You know,
Well, oh, go ahead.
no, no. Hey, Jessica, I just wanted to piggyback off of that a little bit because, and thinking about your story and what you were saying, if you think about this, someone who can't feel they can't smile, and let's say there is enough, with the economy, and there it's hard to pay the bills or whatever it is. I can certainly see, and you walking around, if you can't smile, that means you're not happy. Okay, that you're not happy. You're ashamed to go out, and sometimes weaker minded people will take it out on the person that's closest to them. Okay. And that's how that can tie also into the topic last week when we were talking about domestic violence, so forth and so on. So I really, my head is off again. Something else I took from this conversation, and you mentioned the lack of black people being in this industry. Well, and you think about that, how many people are even aware that, okay, well, this is available to me. This is a field that I may like, but it's not exposed to me. I recall, uh, me real quick, it's not about me here, but I would have to say this the field uh, that really I'm in right now too, and that is the brokerage field. I'm a former stockbroker. I don't trade stocks anymore, so I don't have anybody knocking on my door. But I'm still in that business where I handle, retirement accounts and things of that nature, and safer investments. So I don't have anybody calling me. But I looked around, and I've been in conferences where there were less than 10% of us, and this is a conference, and there were about 2,000 brokers, and less than 10% were black. Okay. I've been in places before, and I was the only one there. So I can certainly appreciate that. But Jessica, you're brave in what you're doing, because I also heard that even during the pandemic, a lot of your colleagues quit, okay, because of the fear factor. So you're brave in what you're doing. I admire what you're doing, and your story is fascinating. Clayton, what would you have to say?
Well, there's not much more you can say to what the brother and the sister had just spoken about, but I have to agree to this with the sayings. Your smile is everything because you want to
Mm,
be approachable, you want to fit in, you want to be accepted, and the first thing people are going to see is your appearance,
mm,
and they're going to judge you by your appearance, and that's going to either take you to a place of thinking too much, or you're going to feel like, hey, am I fitting the part? Do I look the part? Do I want to? It's just one of those things. Cosmetics today does weigh on the mind. That's the reason why people tend to want to fix themselves up before they go out the door. They're thinking about these things. And when you talk about mental health, it's
mm,
one of those things where everybody wants to be accepted. That is one of the things of
mm,
survival, along with food and housing and all those things. You want to feel like you're needed.
mhm,
You feel like people see you. Say, for instance, a smile,
mhm.
or as a hygienist, she would take care of all those gum diseases and things like that, so your breath wouldn't stink. You know, let's be real. That's what a hygienist does, so you can be in the crowd.
Right.
So you gonna think about those things. People say, "Do my breath stink?" That's you're conscious of your appearance,
Mm,
and she's doing a service for a lot of us.
absolutely. You know, Brother Robert Hicks, uh, he said information about mental health can be found at National Institute of Mental Health at NIMH NIH.gov. Let me repeat, NIMH NIH gov. Write it down. Before you, Craig, LaToya, she has another question. Beauty is before age. Okay. All right. LaToya, where is she?
I
Oh,
think
she
she just fell off.
disappeared. Oh my goodness. Okay. Craig, okay. I guess I'm going to have to surrender. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I just been watching some of the comments that have been appearing online, and for Jessica, you're getting a lot of them that's telling you happy swing versary.
Yes.
Yes, you're getting a lot of those comments, and I just wanted to speak on that and tell you that we're all proud of you and happy swing versary.
Thank you.
Oh, is that it?
That was it. And,
Oh
but
my goodness, I can't believe it. Is that Rock? Rock says excellent. Rose Ann Matthew. She says, "Hola, the Raleigh Groove. I just love Raleigh Groove. Swing. I just love the swing, five swing chapter of Raleigh, because you guys were the first one to reach us. Michelle R. Harris, Rose Ann Matthew. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey guys, keep it locked right here. Tell your friends about it. You can check out Groove Swing Speaks each and every Tuesday. Jot it down. And that's on the West Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central, and I guess that makes it 5 Mountain Time. Guys, tell us, because look, this program is growing, it's growing, it's growing, and I am so excited because we're connecting the dots, not only in this nation, but around the globe. And I know it's late in some places outside of the country. However, this broadcast will be up on the website in 24 hours. Okay, 24 hours it will be here. If you missed part of it, you want to hear it again or share it with a friend, go to studiow.buzz Buzz Studio W dot Buzz. LaToya's back. Hey, LaToya. I'm just having a great time with Jessica and the rest of the panel, including you, Craig. Okay, the rest of the panel, just having a great time. Hey, Craig and I, we tease each other on and off air. I love this brother because he is dedicated, he's committed, and he's taking his time. Okay, I'm serious right now, Craig. And you, Clayton, to come on each and every week with your dedication and your enthusiasm about this broadcast. So,
I am enthused about this broadcast. I can't make it every weekday, every week you have it because I'm involved with a lot of stuff related to Groove. As you know, we're getting ready to reactivate the undergraduate line at Virginia Union, the undergraduate
I love it.
chapter
I love it.
at Virginia Union University.
Speaking to you,
So
Mike.
administration have been giving us the green light. So I'm involved with that. And that's taken a lot of my time. As a matter of fact, this Saturday, we've been working on this project for about a year now. And this Saturday, we're going to have some undergraduate members from the region to come on campus and engage with the students. Because we can't have the older brothers like yourself come and
See,
try to talk to a
no,
20-year-old student.
I'm going to cut his mic. I'm
So
going to
we
cut
got
his.
some undergraduate and some recent graduate members to come and speak to the
I just
students.
cut your mic.
What? No, you ain't talking about Mike. But and I'm happy about that. So as we look to reactivate the Panther One chapter, where you and myself was initiated, um,
That's right.
we'll look forward to actually getting you to make a monetary contribution.
Yeah, I was probably the reason why you pledged in the first place. You heard about me, but anyway, let's get back to. But no, seriously, and one thing I'm going to say that was funny. But anyway, one thing I'm
That
going to
was
say.
funny.
Now, shut up, Craig. One thing I'm going to say is, I promise not to tell you to shut up, but shut up. But anyway, uh, I'm going to disagree with something you said because as a broker, um, I used to go around to middle schools. Okay, I used to go down to high schools. I've even been around elementary schools, and I was teaching the young scholars about the money world. I talked to them about stocks. I talked to them about bonds. I talked to them about mutual funds. And I tell you what, these children, this is why we need to instill values when, and not only human values, but also values as far as education is concerned. Open them up, just like Jessica is in a field that very few of us are represented. I'm in a field that very few of us are represented. Robert, I am sure he's in a field that's very a little representation there, along with LaToya and Mark. And guess what, folks? We are experiencing something because there are avenues, there's information out here, and part of this program is to educate, motivate, and inspire. Okay. Hey, Roseanne Matthew, thank you so much for tuning in. And so, young people, believe it or not, they will pick up on certain things. I used to get letters from, believe it or not, middle age and below middle age students. Not middle age, but I'm talking about middle school, high school. You know, and I would get letters from these young people, and he said, "Thank you, Mr. Brown, for coming by. I'm going to get my dad and my mom to invest in the stock market. I'm going to get my dad and my mom to buy an IRA, okay, individual retirement account. I'm going to get them to do things like this, okay." And I get these letters, and that thrill me, Robert. I got thrilled behind that because they were picking up on things that they were not exposed to. So that's why I applaud Jessica because she's in a field, and many of us are in fields that they really aren't exposed to. Robert, your take.
Exactly. And this is one of the reasons why our children definitely need to see what other potential avenues they could go to. because in the sense of
That's right.
every child is not going to, every one of our children are not going to be in sports, are going to be in entertainment, or are going to be a singer or something of that nature. They might have a great skill with math. They might have a great skill with science. They might have a great skill with English, public speaking. They might have
Right.
opportunities with mentoring. So, which is why it is definitely important that we present these options and expose our children to these. Matter of fact, one of the great events that we have coming up at the conclave in Miami in July 17th to the 21st is what's known as our Youth Empowerment Summit.
Come
What
on.
that basically allows is youth from the areas that we visit, or sometimes they are also brought with us to the trip itself, to the conclave. But they get an exposure to a lot of us professional grooves in various different areas, and they get to hear a number of speakers in various different fields from all walks of life. And it gives our children a sense of pride, a sense of a belief that they can be one of these, or take the information that they're given at this summit and then use it and apply it to their daily lives. And perhaps, you never know, the one person that you speak with is going to eventually have they'll have an amazing feeling, in which case then they will become something great in life. And they will be thanking those mentors. They'll be thanking those speakers. They'll be thanking those professionals later on in life. And
Absolutely.
you never know, you might have that one person say, thank you for talking to me. You saved my life. You made me go on another path. And now, who knows, I'm a millionaire because of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Tiffany, let's see. Maybe she's having, okay, let me see if I can get her in. She's having a little internet problems here. But Jessica, what uh, Robert say is huge.
Hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
give me a quick example. Like you said, that smile. Have you ever walked down the street or been in a situation and you just said hello to someone with a smile?
Mhm.
In most
Absolutely.
cases, in my experience, they smile, and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?" It makes words are so empowering, and I think that we take that for granted. You know, you
Mhm.
smile, you call somebody, "Hey, I was just thinking about you," and people will light up. Well, thank you for calling me. All right. Or you post something about that person, or you say good morning, or you've been in situations, we all been in situations, and I know me, for instance, there was a place I worked one time, and I used to come in and saying good morning to everyone one day, and it was this cat, our equipment manager. I would walk up to him, his name was Bernie. I said good morning. He said, what's good about it? Bernie, he was that kind of guy. But when I left that position and I say, hey, Bernie, I'm leaving, he said, oh, man, wow, I'm sorry to see you leave. And all this time, I thought Bernie didn't like me.
I don't like it.
It- okay, I'm cutting this mic. I'm cutting this mic.
You're my
But,
brother, and I don't like you.
both of you are lying. If you weren't lying, you wouldn't be here. You are lying. Both of you are lying.
Checks come out on Tuesday.
Yeah, you ain't getting one either. So, but
I
anyway, the point is, both of them are lying because I know both of them love me. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here next to me. They wouldn't believe in what we're doing right here because they know.
I'm going through a crisis right now.
I
Yeah,
need
okay,
the
you're going through
money,
a crisis.
and I need the money.
Okay, hey Jessica, will you talk to these two
what
fools?
I know LaToya, so did you still have a question?
yes, I do. Um as I do believe it was Mark, as he was saying how the cost of dental care can be sometimes costly. Um
Daunting.
do you have some tips for us and the audience on what we can do to have that preventative care? And the reason why I say that is because that could add to someone's mental state.
Mm,
Could cause you to go further into depression due to the lack of money or funds, um, and being able to correct your smile, being able to um do the fillings or the root canals or whatever, you know what I mean? But is there
Mhm.
any like suggestions to the preventative care and maintenance that we can do
Okay.
ourselves?
Well, like one thing, Nurturing Smiles, we were also founded because we wanted to be able to provide that preventative services at a low cost. So we want to be able to break the barriers to access to care. So that's why we consider ourselves a mobile dental clinic, so we can take our services to different locations and provide the services to
Wonderful.
families. And we also offer it to either low or no cost, is based off of our patient's income. And also why we also provide a lot of services for free, a lot of initiatives that we are providing to the families. Um, so we want to make sure that you guys look into different organizations just like Nurturing Smiles. There are many nonprofit organizations that are out here trying to provide those free, low to no cost services to families that are in need. So one thing that we focus on is education. So brushing twice a day, flossing, using a mouth rinse to kill more bacteria. The biggest thing when patients come in, we can tell if you're not flossing. So the first thing I ask my patients after I take x-rays is, are you flossing? Flossing is truly important, and people lack that step, because when you floss, you're removing plaque and bacteria in the food throughout the day that sits through your teeth. So you want to make sure you're doing that at night. When you floss at night, you remove that. You go to sleep with a clean mouth. You're not eating for the next few hours, and so you're in that process where the mouth is healing itself
mm,
throughout from that day. If you fall asleep and your mouth is closed, that bacteria is just accumulating over time. And
mm,
so that's why flossing is key. Oral health is key because people don't understand how much the correlation of oral health is to your overall health.
Mm,
So it starts off as gingivitis. So if you're not flossing regularly, if you're not brushing, if you're not using some kind of rinse to kill bacteria, it starts off as gingivitis, as we know, as just bleeding gums. When bleeding gums are not treated, it starts to now affect your bone. So that's what we call periodontal disease. And so with periodontal disease, what that is now the bacteria is basically eating away at your bone. And the issue with that is it's taking away from the structure. So when you see a lot of patients who are losing teeth, they have movable teeth or infections, that's where periodontal disease starts to become an issue. And so right there, there's a correlation with periodontal disease,
mhm.
diabetes, high blood pressure, and many systemic diseases. So a lot of our patients that we see as well in South Philly at our location, Marion Medical Clinic, they have these diseases and disorders. So if you're not treating your high blood pressure or your diabetes, or any systemic disease, that starts to show up in your mouth. So a lot of patients, they may have a lot of bleeding, um, and a lot of puffy gums, and they're not unsure where the smell is coming from and unsure what's going on. A lot of times we have to ask, when's the last time have you seen your PCP? So keeping up with your overall health is also important, and how it contributes to your oral health. And keeping up with your oral health is important because it can affect your diabetes. So usually if something is going on in your body, we can see it in your mouth first. Your mouth
Wow.
tells you a story.
This is deep, and I'm gonna toss it around. You guys can jump in it whenever you want because I'll tell you what's fascinating about this. Because if and Jessica, tell us. So let's, for instance, we don't treat, or we don't brush, we don't floss, and then we have all this bacteria just in our mouths. To me, it's like poisoning the well, so to speak, poisoning the well, and then that's I can see the correlation now between your dental health and your mental health, because if that well is poisoned, then then it's going to seep in. It's in the brain, and so your reaction is not going to be what we so call normal. And you you're not going to be a happy person. A happy person doesn't smile. A happy person doesn't go around and say, "Hey, how you doing? Great morning or great afternoon, whatever it is." So the opposite, in my opinion, based on what you just shared, is the fact is the truth there. What do you have to say about that?
One thing is I always tell my patients to think of when you swallow that saliva, it's just like when you drink water. You're just it's for your nutrition. So when you drink water, you drink that water to help cleanse and hydrate your whole entire body. So when you swallow bad bacteria, you have to think about how that maneuvers into your whole entire
Mm,
body.
wow.
And so it can go straight to your heart, it can go straight to your brain. And so these are the things that people are lacking the knowledge of and why we are here to provide that. So we always try to make sure that we are educating our patients. I feel like the lack of education is why so many of us don't go for it. But just educating our patients and having them understand it in their layman terms is what really gets them motivated to be like, okay, this is what I need to take care of now, and be able to help them through the beginning and to the end and getting them that smile that they deserve.
You know what I'm going to say? Okay, to our panel and to everyone that's listening to us right now, because like I said, we had several hundreds, if not a thousand, more people that listened to us last week. What I'd like for you to do next week, okay, is to have some young people that you know, where their groove swings, whatever it is, even your younger ones, going middle school, even below, have them to listen to this broadcast because what we are doing, I'm serious about this right now. Have them come down and listen to this because something will be said or might be said that's going to inspire them. Says, "Oh, I never thought about doing that before, but that sounds interesting." And what Jessica said earlier on the broadcast is that there's an overall lack of dental professionals. It's needed because she said there were a lot that exited
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yes.
So that tells me there's opportunity there. And you got to know, guess what? I don't think they come. Guess what? I think they would have a really, really, really good opportunity and lifestyle. Okay, and it might be something that everybody has teeth. Well, most of us, you know, But the point that I'm getting at is that this is an open opportunity, and if you really get into the depths of it and the science of it, like Jessica has, and dedicated her life to, uh, I found it absolutely fascinating. Uh, who's next? Mark, Tiffany, Tiffany. We haven't heard from you in a while, darling.
Yes. I'm trying to think. I did have a question. Oh, how often would you recommend a person use a water pick? I've been to the dentist before, and they say, hey, you can purchase a water flosser. How often would you recommend them to use that? And is that more effective than regular flossing, or is it about the same?
Good question.
It's based off the patient. So a water pick, I'm always big on what the patient is working on. If it works for them, continue to do it. So some patients use that water flosser every day and their gums look amazing. And because you have to make sure you're using it appropriately. So make sure
Mm,
wherever dental office that you go to, that your hygienist shows you the appropriate way to use that flosser to make sure that you're getting the most effect from it. Some patients, I usually recommend it most when I have patients who have a lot of bone loss because using regular floss, you can only get down about 3 millimeters. So you're not really getting around the curve. Our tooth is like a curve. So when you use that regular floss, it goes in, it goes underneath that pocket, and it removes as much
mm,
plaque as possible. Sometimes that floss isn't going to reach those areas. So the water flosser is the best for those patients who have bridges,
I love
crowns,
it.
and bone loss. Um, so that way they can keep those areas the best clean. So it's not that one outweighs the other. Flossing, if you are a patient that is pretty healthy and has minimal bone
Good camp.
loss, flossing would definitely be most effective for you. But for those patients that have those bridges, crowns, some bone loss, periodontal disease, the water flosser tends to be more useful because it's flushing out more bacteria for you.
Thank you.
So when it comes to just some general knowledge for our audience, how long should you keep a toothbrush, use a toothbrush before you get a new one? And what's the difference in, I see they have like soft, medium, and hard.
Mhm.
Which one would you recommend that
So you want to throw your toothbrush out every 3 months.
every
Every
three?
3 months, you want to make sure you get a new toothbrush. And if you have a power toothbrush, every 3 months, you want to get a new power toothbrush head. Um, and then you want to make sure that there are so many different products out there. So you want to make sure that you think of the abrasion. So when it comes to the soft or hard or medium bristle, we always recommend our patients to go soft because you won't want to brush off those layers. Some patients brush too hard. So if you're already using a hard toothbrush bristle and you're a hard brusher, you're wearing away at your enamel, which can cause sensitivity, which can cause your gums to recede, and that like that takes away from that smile. I have a lot of patients who come in and they're like, I see my gum is starting to lift here and it's sensitive. I can't drink cold. I have to drink through a straw. So those are the reasons why we are telling patients to use a soft bristle toothbrush because it's going to be less abrasive to your enamel.
Great. Clay, question?
That's good.
Well, I don't know what else I can ask her. She's covered it all, but I can understand the nature of what you do. You give people back their confidence to be able to live a normal lifestyle because you say some people cannot do the things like drink out of a glass, they have to drink out of straw. Sometimes, you're trying to hide your imperfections, but you're giving people a chance to uh, gain something back. And I appreciate what you do, sister, because you're doing an important job.
Thank you.
For sure. And someone may be watching and saying, how does this really all tie into? I mean, I know we touched bases about mental health but someone may be saying, how does this really all tie in? But you're speaking about it. Like, the bad breath, that could bring on low self-esteem, that could cause you to be
Hmm.
depressed, that could cause
Exactly.
and depression can spiral. It's like it could be a whole snowball effect. So I am I'm very excited. I'm very appreciative for you coming on the show tonight and just really talking to us and explaining to us what we can do, the
Thank you
things
for
that we
having
need
me.
to look out for. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing in the community for our women, our mothers, our grandmothers, and our children. So they can grow up and want to love to smile. I
Thank
appreciate.
you.
I thank you, sis. And also, I cannot be remiss by saying and giving a shout out to Madam Board Chair Rose Matthews. Sis, hola, I see you. I see the comments. I appreciate you for watching and tuning in. And all of the swings out there in Swingland. Thank you all.
Yes, Roseanne is my swing mama, so I'm thankful that she came on today.
Oh, okay. All right. Swing mama. That's the first time. The first time I heard that term. Swing mama. Okay. The brothers calling me a DP, but okay. Swing mama. All right. We can go with that. That's cool. Um, but I mean, everything you said today has been enlightening, and it was very good to have this conversation tonight. And we hope that maybe you will come back and join us again later
Please.
on as we do something different and we bring
Definitely.
on some other topics about personal hygiene because
Definitely.
this is basically it's a health issue, but it all fills in with personal hygiene as well. Um,
Yes. Well, thank you
Everybody
guys for
likes to
having
smile.
me.
And
Yeah.
sis, before we leave, how can someone in your area or even outside of your area reach you?
They can contact us on our social media page, which is Nurturing Smiles. You just look us up on Facebook or Instagram, and our website is www.nurturingsmiles.org.
Wonderful. I love it.
Repeat that again for those who may need to get a pen, if you will.
On our social media pages, all you have to do is look up Nurturing Smiles on our Instagram and Facebook. And then for our website, it is www.nurturingsmiles.org.
I love it. I appreciate it. And I love
Thank
the
you.
fact that you also let us know that our mouth can tell us a lot about what's going on in our bodies.
It is.
I love it. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And so do I. And I'm sure, and we have about 24 minutes left to go, and we want to utilize all of it. And like I said, Jessica and the audience, the panel rather said, you are welcome to come back anytime. I find your story fascinating, and we need to know more about that. And who knew? I mean, I really didn't link the connection between mental health and dental health. I didn't make that link. Clayton, did you, or Craig, or
You know
Robert?
I did. That's why they
Oh,
call
oh
me the
my,
game changer, because
oh my
I
God.
picked up on it right
Oh,
away.
oh, oh, and let's go to somebody sensible. Robert, Robert.
I have to say, tying in the idea of dental health and mental health are definitely, I see the connection, because basically, as also Sister Yvette had mentioned, LaToya had mentioned, in regards to your overall self-esteem. If you're not able to smile, that's really is affecting a psychological effect on you emotionally.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's very important to be able to, because with the smile, you also have a lot of positivity. But also, one of the things to be positive about, if you hear in the background, that's my dog, he's hacking away. But I would say the idea is basically also having a sense of not only positivity, but also having a sense of gratitude, being able to say that, hey, I'm feeling great, I'm up, I have great family, have my health, I have my well-being, have a roof over my head, other things as well, so that you can even have a bigger smile, knowing that you've got 10 or 15 things that you're happy about, including your smile as well. So definitely, this was a amazing topic this evening. And also to be able to just, if somebody out there, you want to be able to smile, and I know this is not the request line, but if you can play Your Smile by Renee and Angela, that would probably be very good. Those are old school fellas who know that song.
Yes, you're right, Rob. And man, I tell you, man, you hooked it uh, as always. But William had stepped out for a minute, and Clayton and I have taken over, because I think we're getting to the end of the show, and he don't want to give us his, our checks. But we might be completing this by,
well, he's good for it, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Has it always been on time?
This is supposed to be first check.
Sometimes you can't listen to Craig. Robert, you ought to know better by now.
Uh,
You can't
but
you can't listen to that, brother.
but
Oh,
I
if
have
if
one more
Rock is
question for
listening,
Jessica before we get off the air, guys.
okay, go ahead.
So Jessica says, what type of foods should we stay away from that hurt, that, like, would cause more damage to our teeth? And also, what foods should we gravitate toward to help the health of our teeth?
Great question.
You want to stay away. Our dental plate initiative is our nutrition initiative. And what we usually do with the students is educate them on the acidity levels in foods. So drinks, the sugary drinks, like the sodas, and certain waters actually have a high pH level. So you have to be mindful of that as well. So we want to make sure that we're staying away from sugary food, sugary drinks, also things that have a lot of carbs. So our breads, our baked goods, those
No, not the
carbohydrates,
bread, sis. Hold on, wait a
those
minute. I had you
carbohydrates
with the
are
sugary
sticky.
drink. I was
Okay,
with you
and
with the
also,
high acid. I was, oh Lord, not the
but
bread.
Yes.
also, Yeah. Also, you were talking about high alkaline water, like the
Hmm.
9.5 pH.
Hmm.
I have to
Yes, you
avoid
want
those
to.
too.
Yep, you want to avoid those waters. Not all waters are created equal and
Right.
not as healthy and not as hydrating as you need them to be. So
Oh.
when it comes to the baked goods, sis, the carbohydrates turns into sugars. So they get sticky and stay onto your teeth. So we want to make sure we always educate that. So we also talk to the children. We tell the moms about the goldfish, the crackers. Those tend to get mushy and stay on teeth. And as African Americans, we have a lot more grooves on our teeth surfaces. So those sticky foods tend to stick to the tooth, turn into sugars, and can cause cavities. So we want to make sure that we're staying away from those foods and choosing more healthier options. So the apples and the celeries, crunchy, good, healthy fruits and vegetables that also are cleaning your teeth. So when they say apple a day keeps a doctor away, it's definitely true. Those crunchy, good, healthy fruits clean your teeth, especially celery. So thinking of those options, keeping that water is definitely important because water rinses your mouth throughout the day. And there's some patients who have a lot of medicines that they take. So with the medicines, they cause dry mouth. So drinking more water, especially when your saliva is low, helps rinses your palate to keep those cavities low.
Okay. Now, what about sort of like lemon and limes?
Acid is
Does that
very high acidic.
right? So
They're
that
very
doesn't
high.
affect your enamel on your teeth at all.
Hmm. So a lot of people who like to drink those lemon waters, they put the lemon in the water. It's not actually the best choice for your teeth. It may be great for your body, but not the best for your teeth due to the acidity levels.
Wow. Amazing.
It can cause that acid erosion on the surface of your teeth.
This is absolutely an
Well,
amazing,
yes,
amazing
because I'm
show.
I'm the grandmother that keeps goldfish. You know, when you got small grandkids, like you can give them a pack of goldfish and they're quiet, at least for the
My
whole season.
son's favorite treat
You
is goldfish, so it's
know?
quite
Okay,
hard as a hygienist to give it to him.
so you're saying I should have less goldfish, more apples, more celery. Okay.
Yes, but you can the point is it's in moderation. So make sure that you're enjoying these foods, but the water is key. Having, water on hand to rinse off the teeth afterwards.
Okay.
So that way the food's not sticking. So even for kids, gummies and the chewing gum, all those things over time, the sugars stay on your teeth. And if you're not rinsing off or drinking an adequate amount of water throughout the day, the sugars sit on your teeth. So that's why it's really, really important to make sure you're brushing at night before going to bed because those sugars, once you close your mouth, the sugars stay on the teeth all night. So you
Wow.
want to make sure you're brushing at night to remove that. So even if you're not getting enough water, brushing and flossing at night is always key to that preventative access.
Amazing. Hey, Clayton, your friend Jackie out of San Antonio is listening. And she said, "Is that
Hello,
Clayton?" She
Jackie.
said, "Hey, C."
Hey, Jackie.
And
How are things going?
oh wow, wow, wow. Jackie is an avid listener right here on the buzz, and I really appreciate that. She's not a swing. Hey, Jackie, you might want to find out more about this swing organization too. Okay, they have graduate chapters and things of that nature, and she's also a health provider, and she is in the field of
Yes.
mental health. And Clayton, you know a whole lot about that too.
Mental health.
No, as far as Jackie and her field is concerned.
Oh. Well, you would have to have Jackie tell you her story.
Okay, I've been trying to
Uh,
get her on
but
one of
mental
our.
health, yeah, well, I've dealt with a little bit of that too.
Yeah, and so Jackie, thank you so much, dear, for listening and to this show. And I want to thank everybody for listening to this show. It's something that Robert brought up earlier, and that's about the types of water that we drink. And Jessica, I did a sound check off air uh, outside the studio. I like to do that to see how it's coming through. And Robert mentioned something about water. And you mentioned that water is not made equal. I mean, it's not all water is not equal, okay, or made equally.
No.
If I want to, because I buy bottled water all the time. I just buy bottled water, pick it up, and to me, it tastes better than tap water. However, like you said, all waters aren't made equally. So, if I'm going out to buy water, what would you suggest? The type of water that I should buy?
Usually, I recommend our patients to get either spring water or purified water. Those waters have the less pH in there. It's more purified, better for your body, more hydrating.
Okay. Is there a particular, what's your favorite?
Oh, I'm a Poland Springs girl.
Now say that again.
I'm a Poland Springs girl.
Portland Springs.
Poland.
Poland. It's the name of
Poland.
the name brand of a water.
Well, I understand it, but what can I don't. I haven't noticed that or seen that.
Well, bougie
Oh,
can't talk about
Poland.
Poland Spring, Poland Spring, and being from New York originally, that's Poland Spring is mostly like Northeast bottled water. Down in our area, we see like Deer Park more often than
Mm,
not.
Would you? Okay, Deer Park. Is that a good one too, Jessica?
it's a good one.
Deer Park. I'm going to look for that.
And
Uh,
tap water is in bad water as well. It just counts on your location. It just counts on your location, but especially those locations that have fluoride, we always let our patients
uh,
know, like getting, especially in the city areas, the fluoride in the water is good for the kids and the formation of their teeth.
Great. You
yes.
know, I don't want to spread any conspiracies or anything like that, but I remember when before I moved to California, I was living in Virginia, and I used to drink tap water all the time, and then all of a sudden it had a skunk taste to it. And then what you would see in the grocery stores, all of these stores now selling bottled water. And I'm wondering if there was something that happened. Like I said, I'm very careful about conspiracies, but there was a change in the water here in Virginia that it was just, I just, it had a skunk flavored. I mean, it was just awful as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Was it okay? Your history, Jessica, was it something that somebody did to the water to make us buy tap water, okay, to make a profit? I don't know. I'm just throwing this out here. I don't want to spread a conspiracy. It-
I'm
yeah.
unsure about your water, but when it comes to fluoride in the water, by law, it's a small amount that's in the water. It's like 0.007 parts per million of fluoride in water. So it's a really small amount in the water, but it is healthy to have it ingested into your body because it helps strengthen your teeth and and it helps to, not cause cavities. It's that preventative aspect to it. So
Hmm,
it's a small amount in the water, so I doubt it will be able to even taste it.
okay. Hey, Mark, are you still with us, brother? Okay. If not, Tiffany, we haven't heard from you in a while.
One of the sisters, I would say, Rob, she wanted to know, is it okay to drink coffee through a straw?
You said to drink coffee through a straw.
Yeah.
I actually recommend that to my patients who have very have a lot of stain. So coffee or wine, and iced tea, anything with caffeine in it can cause staining to the teeth. And then we have a lot of patients who drink coffee all day. So I doubt you want to drink hot coffee through a straw. So I tell my patients to drink iced coffee through a straw. That way, it can that kind of decrease the amount of the sugars and caffeine from the coffee hitting your teeth to decrease the staining.
Are you saying iced coffee versus hot coffee?
I'm not sure if you really want to drink hot coffee through a straw, but iced coffee would be a lot better.
Okay. Well, I'm not a huge coffee drinker at all, so I don't think that's a real concern for me. LaToya, where's LaToya?
I'm right here.
Hey, darling, what else you got?
Look, I'm trying to get me something to eat, and I'm gonna have some bread. Okay,
Okay,
I'm
well, do what you
sorry.
have to do. Now,
I'm
I think
sorry,
it was Rock. She mentioned something
Jessica.
about a metal straw. A metal straw.
Metal straws.
Okay, okay. Is there? I've never seen a metal straw. A straw.
They
It's a
have. They
reusable
even have
straw.
the edible straws.
Mm.
At tropical smoothie.
Okay. She said
Oh,
for
that's
coffee.
sugar though, but don't tell nobody. Okay.
Okay. So is there an advantage there? She said for coffee, she mentioned metal straw. Is there an advantage there, Jessica?
not a difference between metal or plastic straws when it comes to your teeth. Just make sure that don't chew on straws, don't chew on them because it can cause the cracking and fractures on the surface of your teeth. So,
Huh. Wow, this is
So
fascinating.
you may want to consider just using a sippy cup.
I don't know where that came from, Clayton.
I can't help you.
You can't help him, and nobody can help him.
Uh,
We, uh,
Hey,
Jessica,
William, I'm
just
here. William, I got a quick question.
go on, Mark.
I'm just out of curiosity. Growing up back in West Virginia, Ohio area, we had a lot of steel mills there and coal mines and things of that nature. And the one thing I noticed when I go home is that it seems like almost everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but about 80% of the people, I mean, either they don't, their teeth are missing or they have dentures. And I'm wondering, those cities that's got steel factories and things like that, especially growing up here in the 60s, 70s, 80s, do you think that played a role in how people's oral health has came out because of the stuff that was in the water? I mean, back then, I think they had polar water they used to could bring to your house, whatever. Most people had to drink out of the faucet.
mhm.
And I'm just wondering, do you think over time that would play a role with the runoff and waste, whatever, from those steel factories that to affect the people as far as with their, their dental and things of that nature?
I believe that there could be a correlation. I'm not too educated on that aspect, but I do believe that there could be a correlation because, like I said, anything that goes into your body that affects your overall health also affects your oral health. So over time, any use of anything isn't good, and it shows up different ways in our bodies and can affect, our bone levels and such, and could affect, our teeth. And at that time, you have to think about what kind of medical and dental opportunities that were open to those still workers. So if they're also not receiving any preventative care, that's really key that takes away from their dental care and their dental health. So those patients that you're seeing with loss of teeth, periodontal disease is really the huge factor of losing teeth because you're losing the bone and losing that structure that's holding that tooth in place.
Absolutely.
Now,
I've got a question for Clayton. I'm going to toss this to Clayton and then back to you, Jessica. There is, you see on TV right now that there are lawsuits going on at Camp Lejeune.
right.
And tell us a little bit more about that. Did that have anything to do with the toxic water or?
That's exactly what it is. It's about the toxic water, and they finding out that it was uh, contaminated years ago.
Mm,
And I have uh, family members that's also alongside that lawsuit that they have going on, because the fact is they seeing that cases after cases are being brought up about people getting sick over time. Now, speaking on the water, I've experienced where they did not have fluoride in the water in Italy when I was stationed over there.
okay.
So it was best that you did buy not the water off the economy, but within the naval support site. I'm not Navy, I'm Air Force, but what I'm trying to say is it was best that you did not drink the local water.
Okay.
It
mm.
did not have fluoride. And as she can speak on that, what lack of fluoride can do or won't do for your teeth, because you got to have it.
Okay. Jessica?
Mhm.
Okay. Your take on what Clayton just said.
But it's true, like I had stated earlier, fluoride is a small amount in water, and it's definitely key, especially in children when the teeth are forming. Fluoride
Mhm.
helps strengthens that teeth, and it's a preventative method to decrease the risk of cavities.
Mm, mm.
So
You know,
usually, and it helps with sensitivity as well. So we do fluoride varnish treatments. One key thing that we do at all of our events with Nurturing Smiles, even when we are doing oral cancer screenings, our free Sealing Saturdays, is we always provide a fluoride varnish treatment. And what fluoride does is if there are areas on the teeth that are a cavity is starting to brew, it stops the cavity process and it strengthens that area for the patient. So
you
we
know,
provide that as a free service.
yeah. What comes to mind while we're speaking about this and water? Flint, Michigan comes to play here, and to me, I don't know where they. I think they're still having some problems there. I know that the effects of the bad water in Flint, Michigan, has caused a lot of problems because it was found that there was a more than acceptable amount of lead in the water, and it caused some problems there, including mental health problems. The ability for students to learn and excel on in other environments, they would excel a lot greater. But I want you, what do you know about that, the Flint, Michigan situation, and is it still going on there?
I'm unsure of the current situations in Flint, Michigan at this moment in time. But
Okay,
I do know when you are going to a dental office and it's an area where the drinking water is not up to par, especially
come
for
on.
children, that's when they definitely recommend different fluoride aspects. So remember, all of our toothpaste also has fluoride in it as well. So usually in those moment in times, we want to make sure that we're educating our patients to get fluoride in other ways, which is healthy for them. But unsure of that situation, but usually, in those times, we always want to make sure we educate our patients on different ways to receive what's needed.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, my thing is there has to be a correlation there because if the water is bad, it's got to affect you not only with your physical being, and but it also has to in your medical situation, or
Hmm.
therefore, but your mental state. Uh, it's like machinery. If it all parts aren't working properly, the machine is not going to work. And ladies and gentlemen, we're just about out of time, but Groove Swing Speaks. We bring this because we think it's important to not only address the great things that Groove and Swing are doing, but also before you can grow any crop, the ground needs to be prepared properly. And so we want to start from the ground up, and that is to educate us on our mental fitness, our mental awareness, uh, our mental health, and therefore we can go forth and do the things that we know how to do, we're designed to do, and we're put here to do. Wow. Jessica, before leaving, I want you to tell us and tell the global audience, give us your contact information.
I can be contacted personally at jjean@nurturingsmiles.org.
Okay. I want to thank you so much. Tiffany,
Yes.
you,
You sis.
wow. Hey, thank you, my sister. Tell us about you, your contact information, because you're in an entirely different field, and so are all of us. We have a diverse panel because uh, we are diverse people.
Mhm.
You know, we don't just sing and dance. Come on, man. That's the greatest myth that's ever told. Okay. But anyway, Tiffany, any final thoughts?
Oh no, I did have one more question for Jessica. Um, is what about people that drink alcohol? Like, does that have, because we're talking about mental health as well. So, as far as their
Hmm.
teeth is concerned, like, does that have an effect on them also?
Yes. Yes. So when it comes to patients that have any addictions, certain areas, especially in low income areas, we tend to find patients who have those addictions to either alcohol or drug. They tend to have a lot more cavities, a lot of teeth that need broken teeth. That need to be repaired, and it's just due to the fact that they're not taking care of their oral health, the lack of brushing, the lack of flossing, um, the lack of coming in for the preventative care. We tend to find that a lot in low income areas.
Wow. Hey, Robert, we got 30 seconds, brother.
Yes, absolutely. And just in the sense of treating with anxiety, about the Flint, Michigan case, it was a lot of issues with physical and mental health impacts due to the lead poisoning. And it caused a lot of
Hmm.
issues with the children, stress, and anger at political leaders.
Wow.
So if you want to make some change, remember it's 231 days until the 2024 presidential election. And also check out your primaries as well, because
Mhm.
your vote is your voice. Use it, especially when it comes down to keeping programs of mental health alive and well.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, brother. I'm so glad that I mentioned that. You mentioned that. LaToya, I love you all. Let's see, Jessica, you got to come back. You've got to come back. We absolutely love
Definitely.
you. And this bread is going to be good.
Appreciate you, brother Hicks.
Brother Higgs,
Yes.
Jessica, a Mark, we got
Thank
30
you.
seconds.
You got those checks ready?
Uh,
It
we
was just great. For me, it was just great to be a part of this tonight. Some valuable information, the great stories. Um, can't wait to be back.
Man, love you, brother. Love you, brother. Clayton,
Yes.
any final thoughts, my friend?
Well, I just want everybody to just take care of yourself.
Hmm.
We talked about the mental health, so now go and apply it, because the fact is, you need to just take
Hmm.
some time, go out there, enjoy your life. Don't let no one else tell you how to enjoy your life, because that's where the tug of war goes.
Hmm.
Because when you're out there trying to please somebody else and not pleasing yourself, you're gonna always have mental health,
Absolutely. Absolutely. You go
because
on.
you're living by somebody else's expectations.
Yeah, that's not
Okay,
good.
take care of yourself. If not, take care of somebody else.
Absolutely. And so many in our community, uh, Craig, let's see, do I have to go to you next? Okay. Craig, so many in our communities rather, we look at mental illness and mental health as taboo. So no, if I go to a professional, um, I might be deemed crazy of some sort. And that stigma, Jessica, has been permeating throughout our community for a long, long time. People know that they need help. They refuse to get help because they feel that it's going to make them feel a certain way. My thing to you is, whatever is going on between you and your doctor is between you and your doctor. You don't have to go around telling anybody that you got some help. Go out there and do it. And I think that's where the strength comes in, not by denying it, but addressing what the issues are. Craig, your final thought, my friend.
Well, I just wanted to let everybody know that you had stated you were on Ritalin when you were in elementary school.
Wow, he's
Amazing,
gonna put it
amazing.
out there just like that.
Really?
That's the way he
But
does
How,
it.
just like that.
how did he know all that information? Where did he get it from?
Oh
But I just
Lord,
want to thank everybody. That was the joke, but I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Uh, Hopefully, we can move this platform forward, and let's come up with some good topics. And soon we want to get some RDs on to speak about what's going on in their region.
you know what? I tell you what, we're going to do this because we are moving forward. We're growing each and every week. It's not hopefully. Let's do it. You know, you can put an idea out there, okay, but the key to everything, and I believe that everyone would agree with me, once you have an idea, put one step forward, and I guarantee you something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. I want to thank our panel. You guys, Tiffany, okay, uh, Robert is using Mark, Clayton,
Yes,
Craig, and Jessica. Thank you so much. You brought so much, so many great ideas, great information to Groove Swing Speaks. And I can't thank you enough for that. Hey
Thank
guys,
you so much
we're
for
out of
having me.
time. And Jessica, Tiffany, Tiffany, she's gonna hang around. Been here for a while. Robert, thank you so much. Mark, Craig, Clayton, guys, you're the best.
peace and blessings.